What's going on, everybody? King Dragons 5000 here, coming at you with another figure review. Today we'll be having a look at the Mattel WWE Battle Pack. Brock Lesnar and Paul Heyman includes the stretcher. As you can see in the package, we have Brock Lesnar and Paul Heyman. Battle Pack. Don't know why they call this a Battle Pack. I mean, they don't really fight each other. But anyway, on the back we have a nice picture of Brock Lesnar and Paul Heyman. Recreate the action of WWE, CM Punk versus The Undertaker, and Mark Henry versus Ryback, which I'm probably not going to pick either one of those up. So what I'm going to do now is get these guys opened up, go on to the rest of the review, and we'll see where it goes from there, so stay tuned, folks. And so here we have Paul Heyman and Brock Lesnar out of packaging. Now before we get on to them, let's go on to their one and only accessory, a stretcher. Yeah, not really sure why they came with a stretcher. It's an okay accessory, I guess. It looks like it tabs onto something. I might be wrong, I might be right, because it has two holes right here. Not sure why they came with this. I guess because Brock Lesnar puts people in stretchers, I guess. I can't think of any reason for it, so let's get this off screen. Move that off to the side. And we'll go on to Brock Lesnar first. We'll save Paul Heyman for later. So here we have Brock Lesnar posing out of packaging. Now let's get a good 360 of him. Right off the bat, I'm going to say mine has loose ankles. Not so loose that he topples over all the time, but just loose enough that he loses balance every now and then. You can see he really wants to lean forward. Okay. Alright, let's get on to some details on Brock Lesnar first. I'm okay with that head. I don't like it, but I'm okay with it. You can see his knife tattoo on his chest. That skull tattoo. The little skull demon thingy with the meat hooks on the side. And then whatever that tattoo is. I have no idea what that tattoo is, honestly. And then oh, I forgot some detail on his glove. If you can make that out, it says Lesnar on the knuckle, and on the band of the glove it says Fear the Fury. And not much to say about his trunks. I mean, they're not detailed at all. There's a reason for that. Copyright issues. They can't put any of the logos that you saw on Lesnar on the figure, so what are you going to do about it? Now, onto the figure himself. I don't collect basic figures. I've made that really clear several times that I don't like their articulation. Seems really, really limited. But I got this set for Brock Lesnar, not for Brock Lesnar, excuse me. I picked it up for Paul Heyman, but more on Heyman when his review comes up. But I'm not saying Brock Lesnar is a horrible figure. He's really nice. He has some nice articulation. Mine has a bobbly head, as you can see. It's just bobbling around. Okay, on to his articulation. He has a ball joint head. He can look up, down, tilt his head slightly, look left and right. Arms on the ball joint, they go out. Pretty stiff. Do a full 360. They spin at the bicep, bend at the elbow, spin and bend at the wrist, and it's the same for both arms. Nothing in the abdomen. He has a loose waist. That's a curse for me for some reason. Legs go forward and back, although they go back more than they go forward. That's kind of surprising. Okay, but anyway, he has a knee joint, but he also spins at the knee, which I find really surprising on a basic figure, that he actually spins at the knee. Sometimes I think he has a little too much articulation in the leg. He's his best impersonation of Anderson Silva. Yes, I went there. I went there and I shouldn't have. I don't deserve to do this. But anyway, ankle or spins at the boot and loose ankles, like I said. Okay, but anyway, that's Brock Lesnar for you. And like I said, he's an okay figure. I didn't pick the setup for Lesnar. So what I'm going to do now is move Lesnar off screen and go to the figure that I did pick the setup for, which is Paul Heyman. So give me one moment while I move Lesnar off screen. So here we have Paul Heyman posing in our packaging. Now let's get a good 360 of him. Oh, Paulie, you make me shameful to have a ponytail. I'm sorry, but you do. But here we have Paul Heyman out of packaging, and First off, I do like this figure a lot. He is the main reason I picked up this set. There's a lot of nice detail on him, and we'll move on to that right now. You can see really nice face sculpt on Paul Heyman, down to his ponytail. He does have a blue and black tie. His suit is this grayish brown, white shirt underneath, black shoes like he should. But like I said, really, really nice looking figure. I'm glad I picked this set up. Now let's get my camera pose so we can move on to some of his articulation. He has what you've come to expect in manager articulation, which is different from basic figures. First off, he has a ball jointed head. He can look up, down, left and right, and has some slight bobble. Arms on a ball joint, they go out. Do a full 360. They spin at the bicep, bend at the elbow, spin and bend at the wrist. What you've come to expect from basic figures. But like Ricardo Rodriguez, he has an ab joint, as you can see. I'm not moving his legs, I'm moving his ab joint. It's there, it's just really hindered by his coat. He spins at the waist. Legs go forward and back. No outward movement, no thigh swivel, but he's single jointed in the knee. Boots, hardly any articulation, but they spin. And slight rocker, so that's kind of surprising on Paul Heyman, that he has a slight rocker ankle. Not much more I can say. I'll move on to what I think could have improved this set in my final thoughts. So what I'm going to do now is wrap up this part of my review and move on to my final thoughts. So sit tight, folks. And so here we have Brock Lesnar and Paul Heyman posed for my final thoughts. And overall, I really do like this set. Don't get me wrong, I'm not a basic collector, but this set is actually pretty decent on its own, minus the accessory, which, to be honest, it sucks. But Brock Lesnar himself is a really solid figure. He has a lot of nice detail. If WWE would allow his, logos to be shown on his trunks, it would be a really nice figure. But I'm more of an Elite collector, so the moment I get an Elite Lesnar, this guy is going out of the collection. But Paul Heyman is just so good. I mean, it's the first Paul Heyman figure I got, and I really do enjoy it. He has a great articulation. And I'm not going to have him pose doing too many crazy things, so the basic one works for me. If you can find this set, I highly recommend you pick it up. I found this at Walmart for about $21. That's a fair price to pay. I mean, you're paying $10 plus the accessory. So if you can find these guys, I highly recommend you pick them up. And this is King of Dragons 5000 saying, I'll see you later. Take care, YouTube.